I got the monitor down here.
They thought that's right.
Right? So we got to see it too. And it's not intrusive or anything at all.
For next week, that would be great. I'm assuming they're family.
Oh, for the banana split, yeah. The Is this working, DJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like instead of Vegas hot yoga, it's Vegas hot.
It's hot Shabbat. Okay, so Jared, I'm gonna switch you. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, nice to see you.
I was just saying now things are getting a little back to normal whenever you're.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you here. Good to have you here.
Yes.
I see you're going to be in the board of Women's League. That's pretty cool.
Yes. So we do our coffee dates sometimes. Yes.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everyone. Just a couple of words of explanation. Good to see you. So we haven't been here for 3 months, and the air conditioning has been working perfectly. Seriously. This morning it was working perfectly. DJ and I were here in the morning setting up because we had to configure the whole technology in a different way so that you can see the people in Zoom and the people in Zoom can see you. Because we're still encouraging people who shouldn't be here not to be here. And so we're going to make sure that they can see what's happening in the congregation. So the air was fine, and now the air is not working. We figured it's going to be, instead of hot yoga, it's hot Kabbalat Shabbat. Tyler's opening up the partitions with the social holes, and we're going to turn on the air conditioning in the social holes to see if it comes in here. Hopefully that will work. If that doesn't work, we'll abbreviate the service, and we'll get you out of here before you start to schwitz like it's the schwitz. Okay? Thank you, everybody, for being here. It means a lot to us. We haven't seen you in a while, and we missed you. By the way, those of you who are joining us on Zoom, I see there's a lot of you out there on Zoom. Can you hear me? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, nobody's giving me a thumbs up on Zoom. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. So, thank you for joining us. It's great to have everybody with us. I'm going to ask you to please just remember 3 seats in between people. So Elliot, you have to go that way. Thank you very much. Because each seat is 2 feet. Right? I'm told that 3 seats are 2 meters. That's how I measure it. Feet are very difficult for me. So, okay. So, thank you for distancing. Thank you for being here. And we look forward to really having, I guess, a normal year from now on. I don't know if that's possible, but we'll try. We're going to begin on page 10 with the Yedid Nefesh. Just hang in there. The air conditioning should slowly trickle into the sanctuary. And if it doesn't, well, instead of working out. Yedid Yediduta minofet Page 11. Let us please rise. Page 21, Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid, Amul Adonai. Amul הקודש לכבוד יהי אדוני על מים רבים כל אדוני בכוח שומר הנשיא כולו מרכבו אדוני למעבור ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך עמו בשלום Let us please be seated and turn to page 23. Lechavodi. אני ימין עירתי לה לכבודי נקרא לה פני שבת נקבלה שורסי ברחתותו נפלי יסיס עלי כמסוס אדם חתן הקלה לכבודי נקרא לה פני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי האיש ונברתי ונשמחה והעילה לכבודי נקרא לה פני שבת נקבלה אוי שלום הדלת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצונה תוכנוניה עם סגולה לא ישמלה Let us be seated. We're going to continue with Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, page 27. You want some water?
Mizmor Shir, Mizmor Shir,
Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Let us turn to page 29 of Nai Malach.
Lavish Adonai Ozit Azar Atiko Tevel Batimot Atikon Tevel Batimot Nakon Israel Meolata Nasir Adonai Nasir
Page 4. את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך
והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על עבדיך
ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובלכתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך תנשמו תשמעו ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת להם בזאת ציצית למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם
אדוני אלוהיכם
We continue together on page 44. Now on.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והגידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והגידנו מלכנו
Let us please rise for the Shamrock, page 46. We continue praying the Amidah for Shabbat, beginning on page 47. We're going to continue on page 51 with Shalom Rav. May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all who dwell on earth. And we say, Amen.
Oh, say Shalom, Bidroa, Huya, say Shalom, Aleinu, Ve'al kol Israel, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'imenu amen. Oseh Shalom Nimroma Hu yaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'imenu amen. Oseh Shalom Nimroma Hu yaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'imenu amen. Oseh Shalom Nimroma Hu yaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'imenu amen. Shalom Bidroma Hu yaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'imenu amen.
Kaddish Shalom is on page 54.
Amen. Bimrovav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'irenu. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Hopefully the temperature's gone down a little bit. I think it's a little hot up here, but I was actually just gonna not say anything, but I think that since we came together, and it's a special night, special Shabbat for all of us, there's a couple of words that need to be said. First of all, thank you for being here. You cannot imagine what it's like to be up here with no congregation. The first couple of weeks it was great. But after that, it stopped being great really quickly, and we really missed you. And so we're so happy that you're here. Plus, Jared's a really nice person and a nice guy, but he was like the only live person we had with us. So having different people makes us feel real great. For those of you joining us on Zoom, I know that we changed the configuration a little bit, and I know how Jews love change. I know it's our favorite thing. So please forgive us. We switched the camera because there are people here, so we couldn't have the same type of mess that we used to have before. And next week, hopefully, we're going to be able to have a camera that's a frontal camera to the bima. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, we'll all be back, and we won't need Zoom anymore, but for the meantime. So hopefully, you're listening to us a little bit on the audio, and you shouldn't have a problem listening to the page numbers. And, okay. It's really funny having you here. It's like there's human reaction. This week's Torah portion happens to be the longest Torah portion in the entire Torah. And there's so many things to talk about in it that you really have to stop for a second and understand what your priorities should be and where you want to go with your study of the Torah, because it is all over the place. You have the priestly blessing, you have the ordeal of the Sotah, you have the rite of the Nazir, and you have all of these sacrifices that the chieftains of the tribes are bringing. There's something that happens in the 5th chapter on the 6th verse that's actually incredible. When the Israelites are told to bring a sacrifice for sins that they've committed, the Torah starts by talking in singular. The Torah just simply says, every person, a man or a woman, should bring a sacrifice for a sin offering. However, immediately in the next verse, the language changes to plural. Now, in English, it's not a big deal because it's a they. But in Hebrew, it's problematic because it's not they, it's just plural. And so our sages are really concerned about this change. And they're trying to figure out why the change in the language of the Torah. The Radak came up with the explanation that the change in singular to plural is to teach us communal responsibility. The change from one to all of us is to teach us that in a society or in a people, we are all responsible for each other's actions, and we're all responsible for one another. Kol Israel arevim ze bazeh. That's something that's one of the cardinal principles in the Torah. All of Israel is responsible for one another. And think about it. When something happens and a Jew does it in the world, you go like, did he have to be Jewish? My grandmother, may she rest in peace, every time something happened with somebody Jewish in Mexico, she would go, no. She would sit Shiva. Remember Madoff? That was like a shanda. Now, what the sages are trying to tell us, by the way, is that we shouldn't only feel that way when something happens to us as Jews, but when something happens in the world in which we live. That we cannot be oblivious to the things happening around us, because if we become oblivious, then we're not entitled to be part of a community. Our actions ultimately affect those around us. If you don't believe me, think about the last time you got in trouble for something trivial. Something that you did that you didn't think was going to have any consequences. Everything you do in life has consequences. Whether small or big, whether you can feel them today or not, there's a ripple effect to our actions. And we have to be aware of what we do. Did we do the right thing? Did we fail to act when it was time to act? Did we fail to speak out? Did we speak out? We live in a world, by the way, and I've said this so many times, I'm getting blue in the face, where everyone thinks they can do whatever they want. You can post on Facebook whatever you want, you can tweet whatever you want, you can say to another person whatever you want, and yell at the top of your lungs, and no one is listening because the person who's yelling is certainly not listening. And if you yell back, and if they yell at you, one of the most sacred things in the Jewish tradition is dialogue. One of the most sacred things in the Jewish tradition is a machloket l'shem shamayim, a difference of opinion for the sake of heaven. That's our utopia. That's the ideal world we would like to live in, where people listen to one another and feel each other's pain, and not just try to shout over one another, calling each other names, because that really leads to nowhere. Our sages equally remind us, in the whole spectrum of communal responsibility, that should not withdraw yourself from the community. Al tifrotz min hatzibur. The moment you withdraw from the community, you stop being a part of the world. And that same world can change in a second and turn against you. You know, I have some news for you. Jews were never white. This is the first diaspora in this continent where we're white. Maybe in South Africa too. But all across Europe, our grandparents and great-grandparents, they were not white. They were the oppressed. And we should know what it feels like to be oppressed and that there's no one to speak out for you. There's a lesson to be learned in shared responsibility. And look, I really want to qualify my words. In no way am I justifying looting or violence. But we need to understand, for those people who are legitimately in pain, where that pain is coming from. 300 years of pain, and no one listening. Very often we ask when we read, why did it take God 400 years to listen to our cry for help? It upsets me. It should upset all of us. Now imagine if you didn't have God on your side, or you didn't have a text that says that you have God on your side. It's not an easy burden to bear on your shoulders. I want to share with you a story, because I don't know how many of you know stories, but I've learned in my life that personal stories really dramatically change the way people look at things. One of our maintenance men, Paul, who used to work here for many years, once called me from jail. Like in the middle of the night, I got a call from the Clark County Detention Center. And Paul is a wonderful, wonderful guy. He works hard to provide for his family, not a mean bone in his body. So he had a busted taillight, and they stopped him. And they arrested him. Literally, for no reason. I never believed, by the way, that these things actually happened. I always thought that these things were completely made up, that they were exaggerations. Now, Paul was not brutalized or hit, thank God, but he spent the night in jail for no reason, for a busted taillight. If you or I had a busted taillight, nothing would happen to us. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We need to recognize that whatever we thought ended in the 60s did not end. And the most important thing, that calling each other names is not going to solve this problem. The frustration that we're seeing, and again, I'm not legitimizing violence by any means, but the frustration that we're seeing for those who are not opportunistic, for those who are really in pain, I can only imagine what it feels like. And we cannot minimize it. And we cannot call people with knees on their necks thugs or terrorists. When we prevent somebody from breathing, we are the thugs. We are the criminals. And when we don't speak out, and we don't speak up, and we don't stand up as Jews as we should, we lose all bearing of reality and who we are in this world and why God put us here. A lot of people ask me why I didn't write anything about this before. And I wanted to wait. Because like Jackie Mason says, in times of crisis, every pot becomes a philosopher. And God knows that we have enough talking heads, and I'm not a politician, nor will I ever be. I'm a rabbi. But we need to understand what it means to be part of a people that has never looked at the color of the skin of others. One of our teachers, Abraham Joshua Heschel, marching with Martin Luther King, arm in arm, putting everything at stake for the Jewish community. He didn't care. He prayed with his feet. I want us also to understand the difference between optimism and hope. Because we can close our eyes and say, well, in a week it'll all be over, it'll be okay. Like everything else in this country. We can shoot 25 people and argue about it for 2 months and then nothing happens. We can shoot 80 people and argue about it for 2 months and then nothing happens. We can kill 5 or 6 people of color and argue for 5 months and then nothing happens. So we can close our eyes and say, everything's going to be okay. That's optimism. But I want us to be the people of hope that we are. The people that brought hope to the world. The people that invented hope. And you know what hope means? Hope means that you don't wait for things to be okay. You make things okay. Because if you have enough hope in the future, you work for that future. And you work for your children's future. It is hard for me as an immigrant to see what's happening around us. It is hard. Because I came to this country precisely to escape this type of thing. And it's unacceptable. We just see it and watch it on TV. I say, well, it'll be over in 2 weeks. You have the power to change things. We all have the power to change things. We should do it. We have to be cognizant of the power that we have to shape the world. Exercise your right to change America when the time comes. Exercise your right to change the world in which we live. Shabbat Shalom and Borach. Let us please rise. We're going to continue on page 73 with Shalom Aleichem.
Both screens are malfunctioning.
מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Let us please remain standing for Kiddush, which is on page 55 of our Siddurim. Amen. זכר יציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ.
We remain standing for Aleinu on page 56.
אוהבים לשבח אדון הכל, לתת תפילה ליוסף בראשית, שלא עשה כלי הרצון, ולא שם משפלות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו קדם, וגורל עלינו כמו העונה, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
שונות השמיים ויוסד הארץ.
כתוב בתורתך, אוזניים לא תלמד בעת, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Please be seated for a moment. On page 173, on the left-hand side of the page, we have an opportunity to say a prayer of healing, not only for those in our community, but for those who are suffering illness all over the world. The Misha Barak prayer is a very powerful prayer. I ask that you sing it with us, page 173.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו, may the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say
Our community is remembering the Yorksides of Terry Berkeley, Nathan Bloomberg, Bernard Ruskin, Ishmael Elgish, Ike Epstein, Julius Vince, Eva Goldberg, Helen Goldman, Leonard Goldstein, Roland Kahn, Merrill Collin, Nathan Leibovitz, Alan Mintz, Bessie Krakowski, Erwin Krakowski, Ray Reiner, Esther Schneider, Pauline Schlisky, Nettie Strauss, Stanton Tartar, Ewald Weinberg, Molly Gertrude Weiss, Victor Wiggins, Philip Olinsky, Abraham Winter, and we're also acknowledging the Shloshim of Gerald Lance. If you have a need or desire to save the mourner's cottage, this prayer can be found on page 58. Yitzgadal, Yitzgadash, Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Elma, Yirak, Yurtei, Yamlik, Malkutei, Bechayekon, Uyom Ekon, Uchaye, Kobet Israel, Ba'adalah, Ubizman Kari,
Veimru.
Amen. Yehei Shemei
Rabba Mevorach, Olam Elomei Almaya.
Yitbarak, Vayishtabak, Yitzba'ar, Yitzramam, Yitnaseh, Yithadar, Yithaleh, Yithalal, Shemei, Yitudisham,
Brechu.
Eilami, Kol, Birkata, Shirata, Tushkata, Nechemata, Amiran, Be'alma, Be'ru.
Amen.
Yehesh, Amarabamin, Shemaya, Be'chaim, Aleinu, Be'alko, Yisrael, Be'ru.
Amen.
Oseh, Shalom, Yimramav, Huya, Aseh, Shalom, Aleinu, Be'alko, Yisrael, Be'ru. Amen.
Amen. Let us please be seated. Before we go on with announcements or anything like that, I want to actually do something very special. Every year during this time of the year, we install the board of our Women's League. And every year, all of our women show up, and it's a beautiful event, and they all come up to the bima. And this year, we have to do it with only 50 people and via Zoom. But don't let the numbers trick you. The power that our Women's League has, and I don't mean like the power to conquer the world or anything like that, but the power to actually do mitzvot and do wonderful things is really incredible. Throughout my years of being the rabbi at Temple Beth Sholom, I really have to say that every year they get better at what they do. And I'm very, very proud to be able to work with them. At first, I'm going to just mention the names of the people who are the outgoing board of the Women's League at Temple Beth Sholom, and then I'm going to install the new board. So the board that's outgoing. President was Janet Sama, Executive VP Whitney Sado, Membership VP Kim Neymar, Membership VP Lois Weinberg, Programs Waste and Means VP Judy Foreman, Torah Fund VP Lilian Radomski, Corresponding Secretary Lois Joseph, Recording Secretary Natalie Karchmer, Treasurer Cheryl Ross, Financial Secretary Merrill Mitzmacher, Communications Chair Melanie Greenberg, Director Ellen Lessinger, Counselors Jill Super, Stacy Lela, Director Bonnie Bloss, Director Marsha Cohen, Director Brenda Katz, Director Jackie Kramer, and Director Terry Walensky Genzer. Thank you for all the hard work that you did for us during these years, and we wish you well. And if you're returning to the Women's League and their board, thank you again for doing it again. And if you're being discharged and not coming back next year, well, we hope to see you around as much as we did this year. The incoming board who we're going to install right now, and I'm very proud, I'm very, very happy to see who the new president is going to be. Not that I'm not happy about the other presidents, but I've known Whitney for a long, long time, ever since I came to Las Vegas, and I've seen her children grow, and it's a wonderful thing, Whitney. Thank you very much for actually, because you have to agree to do this. I mean, it's not like you're dying to do it. I know that's not the way it works. So thank you for doing it. So here's the board. The president, Whitney Sado, Membership VP, Lois Weinberg, Membership VP, Janet Sama, Torah Fund VP, Kim Neymar, Torah Fund VP, Melanie Greenberg, Waste and Means and Programming VP, Judy Foreman, Waste and Means and Programming VP, Marsha Cohen, Communications, Kari Zaidman, Immediate Past President and Councilor is Janet Sama, Parliamentarian is Brenda Katz, that's like perfect. Recording Secretary is Natalie Karchmer, Corresponding Secretary is Lois Joseph, Financial Secretary is Jackie Kramer, Treasurer Cheryl Ross, the Directors are Bonnie Bloss, Sharon Feen, Sharon Lance, Gail Lebovitz, Ellen Lessinger, Frankie Meppen, Merrill Mitzmacher, Francine Wiederhorn, Terry Walensky Genzer, and ex officio, Liz Goodman, Alison Sinai, and Genevieve Hodson. Thank you to everyone. Mazel Tov. Thank you for all your hard work, and thank you for all you do for the temple. People should know that every year you work very hard to raise funds and provide for many of the programs that we do here at the temple, and we're very, very grateful for everything you do. for the energy, for the enthusiasm, and for the blessings that you bring to our congregation. Thank you again. And now I would like to ask Jared Finkelstein, President for Board of Directors, for the announcements. Jared's going to be very excited because last week he was on Zoom and we didn't notice and we shut him off. So he's getting a second chance.
Shabbat Shalom. I'd say it's great to see all these smiling faces, but it really is seeing smiling eyes. Okay, what's that? Better? And again, after all these weeks, again, not to say I didn't enjoy being here alone with you, but it is very nice to see everyone. And as I said, your smiling eyes are just wonderful to see. It is a big step for us to be able to welcome people back to our sanctuary. I can't say enough for our clergy and our staff for having gotten us to this point, for being able to provide our streaming and to keep in touch with everyone. And then as we take this step with our protocols, we are, I think, again, leading. We got a number of calls this week because the Federation had shared our protocols with the rest of the community here, and they kept calling to ask us sort of detailed questions. So I take a lot of pride in us being leaders in our community and being able to create the community and finding ways to keep us together. So again, this is one step along the way. And we'll continue to, innovate and be creative in ways to keep us together. That being said, again, welcome everyone who's here via Zoom, via Facebook. We will continue to be streaming for the foreseeable future. Hopefully that makes our services accessible to as many people as possible and makes them feel the warmth that physically tonight and in other ways I think is part of our community. So again, thank you and keep tuning in. Tomorrow morning our service is at 9 o'clock, available via Zoom and Facebook. Those of you who have reservations for tomorrow, we hold those seats until 9:30, a little Jewish Standard Time to give you a little bit of time to get here. And I'm not sure, do you know if we have 50 for tomorrow? No. Okay, so there still are spaces available if you want to come by in person. The Women's League, I'd like to join the rabbi in thanking the Women's League and all those, the leadership and everyone else. They are truly part of what makes our community so special. Janet, as the Women's League representative on the board, has been invaluable and a great support. They are, truly part of what makes our community special. So thank you very much. In terms of, activities coming up, I want to thank all of those who signed up for the TBS and American Red Cross Blood Drive on June 16th. Thank you to Avery Berta for facilitating this as his bar mitzvah project. By the way, next week is his bar mitzvah. Please tune in via Zoom, or again, family will be here as well. So we will be giving them priority as to seating, but please help us celebrate this big event. In terms of the blood drive, all appointments have been filled. There'll be additional information coming out about how to sign up for upcoming blood drives around the valley. The TBS annual meeting will be on Thursday, June 25th at 7 p.m. We'll have in-person attendance subject to the same limits that we have for services, but we will also be streaming via Zoom. So I urge you to tune in, ask any questions. We'll try to fill you in on where we are. It's been obviously an interesting year in many ways, and so again, please participate that way. The following day, on the 26th, we'll have the drawing for the 4951 raffle. We'll also, I think, have a candle lighting as part of that. And so that will be available via Zoom and Facebook as well. If you haven't purchased tickets, please do so. Call the office. Again, if you purchase $180 or more, send me back to my shop to make more pins. I think I've caught up, so send me back to work over the next couple of weeks. We're still offering our virtual classes. I want to thank Rabbi Goodman for participating in the talk yesterday. It was actually a great time for me. It was with Rabbi Goodman and my old rabbi from Connecticut. It's on Facebook if you'd like to see it. It was a very interesting dialogue, I think, and we're going to continue again with our classes, with our living room gym classes, our yoga classes with Liz Goodman. We'll have Together and Apart, Essential Talmud and History of Zionism with Rabbi Goodman, and Hebrew with Hodson with Rabbi Hodson. And again, links are on our website and can be found in your emails. If you know of a temple member who's in the hospital, ill at home, or in a nursing home, please contact the temple office to let us know. Shabbat Shalom, and welcome back.
I want to take 2 seconds to welcome Abe and Adriana Sherman to Las Vegas. They actually were born in Mexico City, just like me, and they just moved to Las Vegas from San Diego. Welcome. They were very active in their own synagogue in San Diego in the time where David Kronberg is the rabbi, is one of my very good friends from rabbinical school. So we look forward to having you guys here, and anything we can do to make you feel at home, please let us know. We don't have the ocean, but we have other good stuff like the heat. So enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We're gonna have services. We're gonna just come without a jacket and a tie, I guess, but it's getting better, right? No, it's just me. Okay, I'm acclimating. Okay, and thank you, by the way, to all of those of you who supported us throughout this time and being on Facebook and Zoom. And by the way, in no way do we want to pressure people into coming live. If you feel that you're vulnerable, you need to stay home. And that's what we're going to be still streaming and doing everything online to make sure that nobody feels pressure to come to Sholom. We're going to be providing the same services. You're going to be able to get aliyot via Zoom like we've been doing. It's going to be interesting. Tomorrow will be the first time that we mix and match. So just bear with us. We have new technology. And like, again, already some of the Zoom screens in the sanctuary went out. It's not perfect. We're trying. Hopefully we'll be perfected in the next couple of days. And look, Jews and technology, we can invent it, but we do not use it very well. That's part of the problem. Okay. We conclude our service with the Lam, followed by our blessing on page 211.
Hashem alaf, b'terem kol yisirira, להתנסה, לאסוף כל זמרת שמולירה, ויברך אותה כל, לבדו אינו נורא, והוא היה אלוהים, והוא יהיה בצבאה, והוא אחד, אישי שלום להגדירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, לא העוז והמצרה, והוא אלי, בחגו לי, וצורר לי בשרה, והוא הסיר ומנוס לי, ולכוסי ליום אקרא, ועדו גירותי לתישה והעירה והגרותי גבירתי התורה לי ולא יראה לי 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 לי
those of you who can embrace one another, let us come together at this time to
If
share.
you came here with the person, you can hug the person.
That's right. But,
That's
yeah.
the rule.
Like,
If you came here with them, you can put your arms around them.
yeah, today we're not going to hug each other, but you hug yourselves for us. And it's so great to see them, right? I'm going to cry, DJ.
Let's bless each other, page 75.
אדוני יוסלם ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום, שבת שלום ומבורך.
Oye, shalom aleinu, oye, shalom aleinu, oye, shalom aleinu, ve'ahulam. Oye, shalom aleinu, oye, shalom aleinu, oye, shalom aleinu, ve'ahulam. Salam aleinu ve'akol ha'olam, salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'akol ha'olam, salam shalom. Oye, shalom aleinu, oye, shalom aleinu, oye, shalom aleinu, ve'ahulam. Oye, shalom aleinu, oye, shalom aleinu, oye, shalom aleinu,
Okay, well, the surgery
Yeah,
worked.
that was surgery. Wow. Just like it was necessary. It was like detached. It was like a freak accident.
Well, let's give him my
Fell
best.
on Sunday.
Shalom